What's up, guys? Mr. Second Passport here in part 3 of this quick 5-part series of personally what I do with money while I'm waiting to invest it, right, in possibly something else. I think it's important to have things that are not sexy, right, and safe to put your money that aren't going to be bouncing around in the meantime. And today's option does just that. It's it's investing in FHA government agency loans, right? And why I like it is because it's a short-term loan, it's a short-term bond, that does not bounce around like longer-term bond prices do, right? You don't get the volatility, so it's nice and steady. It's a short-term thing. You usually enter into contracts like 3 or 4 or 6 months long, or maybe up to a year, and it pays better than most of the treasuries do and the other short-term options you might have available in a place like the U.S. With your money. And again, it's not exactly government insured or FDIC insured like maybe a bank CD would be, but it's FHA government agency loans, right? And based off the FHA, homeowners incentive program. So it's kind of assumed that the government would have your back if there were to be any repayment issues, right? So again, to get started, and how much do they pay? First of all, here we're looking at one that I currently own that's paying 6.32% annual, right? So why not just, like in one of the previous examples, invest in foreign currency that pays more, or a place like Ecuador that's doing 8%? Well, there's negatives to obviously both of those options that I covered. To bring your money to Ecuador, there's several negatives. One primarily is to take money back out of Ecuador. You're going to get hit with an instant 5% exit fee tax. So you have to take all those things into account when you're looking for fixed income investments. So this one is one that's clearly in the U.S. Based off a governmental agency in the U.S. So obviously you don't have that problem. So again, this is a 6.32% APR interest. And the next coupon here is in a couple days. And you can basically buy in increments of $10,000 or here sometimes $5,000. And again, it's usually 3 or 4 months out, right? And then you will probably get called, and then they pay you back in full plus the interest that you've accrued in that time. To get started with these, you need a platform like the one I have here, E-Trade, that offers them. And then you just call up E-Trade for your first buy or sell, and they will walk you through it, and they will show you how to purchase these if you're interested. They're called agency bonds or FHA bonds, right? And then FHA-based bonds. And then you can just sell them whenever you like, but this is a negative of them compared to treasuries. They're kind of like CDs in that you can get out of them whenever you want, but they're not as liquid, so you're going to take a little hit on the margin when trying to sell them if you try to sell them before their due date, right? So, something to think about before you get into them. But one thing people don't know, like I've had this bond here for almost a year now, and I had another one that was paying 6.66% for almost a year. But what people don't know about these is that, I got the 6.66% one for 3 months, and it just did not get called, right? So if interest rates don't go down a ton in the short term, they will just not call it, and you'll continue to get paid that interest. The 3-month one I got for the FHA, the 6.66, I had for almost 10 months before it finally got called, right? And this one we're looking at here is a 6.32% that I've had for maybe 6 months. That was initially going to be 3 months. That just got called a few days ago. So in the next few days, I'll get paid. So again, these FHA government agency-based bonds, for me, it's some of the highest paying option for a short-term option, fixed income that you have available. Where you're also going to avoid the volatility of the market in general. So again, I'm Mr. Second Passport. This is option 3 for fixed income investments, places to put your money while you wait to invest.